Hi folks, Frank Connors again. Hey, if you're lucky enough to have a copy of Speaking Frankly, you know right there on the cover is a picture of my three favorite pigs. And I'm going to read you the essay today called Pigs and Me. And yeah, here we go. Pigs and me. We go back a long, long way. When I was just a piglet myself, by today's standards, the family had this pet pig that we used to call Josephine. She was one fine sow, but she was in the barn for pork. I knew it, my sisters knew it, my brothers knew it, Grampy knew it, and I think poor old Josephine even knew it. Josephine was born down in Topsom, the old pig farm on the town farm on Forside Road. When we made our infrequent trips to town, we almost always went down Forside Road to see the pigs, and on a good day, we'd stop and feed them. There was an extended family of pigs right there beside the road in those days where we could toss apples, old bread, or whatever we had, and they always seemed appreciative. Josephine was the prettiest in the litter, so Mom marched all five of us kids right into the farmer's kitchen, struck her best deal, and we packed her into the car and took her back to Bodenham. Josephine flourished under our pampering. We pulled grass for her, carried food scraps from the table for her, and waste food from Curtis's store. My older sister was caught reading comic books to her more than once. Grampy was probably the first to worry about the future of Josephine. We had cats for pets in our house and no room really to add a pig to the list. Since Mom was often worrying and sometimes wondering where future meals were coming from, she knew also that there was no room in our house for a pet porker. Summer wore on and the situation only grew worse. Josephine was escaping from her pen where it was smelly and muddy and wandering around the yard to be with us kids. It didn't take long for us to realize that she loved having her tummy rubbed, and she never tried to run off. Why would she? When school came for my older brothers and sisters that fall, Josephine more than once walked the path behind Dudley's and followed them off to classes. The Raymond sisters, two of our teachers, were never really that impressed. I think it fell to my grandfather more than once to retrieve Josie from the playground. Mom would swear there was no connection, but that was the one fall and winter in our lives that she pulled up stakes, left Bodenham, and drove to Florida for the winter. Josephine stayed behind with neighbors and suffered the ultimate fate of an animal destined to join the food chain. You know what I mean. We did not receive any pork chops in the mail in Florida that year. Mom still says that pigs are a lot of work and not worth all the effort. One of my lasting images as a paratrooper in Vietnam was the day this infantry sergeant called in a helicopter rescue mission to evacuate a big sow and 5 of her little piglets from a village. They were shipped safely back to a refugee center, much to the dismay of the chopper crew. I like to think that Josephine had a hand in that. When Jane and I set up housekeeping in Bodenham some 25 years ago, pigs were back in the picture. We were restoring an old farmhouse, and pigs in a pen remain in an effective and environmentally friendly way to reclaim the land. Each year for 4 or 5 years we raised 5 pigs. 1 pig was food for our table, 1 was for my in-laws, 1 was raised for my brother's family, and 1 was raised for a chef in Brunswick who gave us loads of food waste. And the last pig, raised to market, provided cash from its sale to pay for the grain for all the rest. We cleared the best part of an acre over the years, and it still is a beautiful lawn. But Jane would remind me of the days we spilled 10 to 15 gallons of slop in the back of our truck, when she ruined clothes, ripping them on nails in the crude pen that I'd built, or the complaints from the neighbors when the pigs busted out or the wind changed and those piggy smells blew from into their windows. Delivery day for the pigs was always a big event. Friends and family gathered to round them up, put them in wooden boxes, and take them to market over in Durham or in Gardner. Pigs are smarter than the average animal, you know, and they're smarter than some people. I believe they can talk to each other. The first one always went in the box, her box, the easiest, and as the oinks turned to squeaks and to squeals, it often became next to impossible to round up the last of them. Breakouts were common, and disasters were never unheard of. Our love for liver and onions came from those days. In our circle of friends, we found it was very common in a marriage for one spouse to love pig liver and for the other to dislike it. Every fall we'd do a liver and onion party. Liver was cooked outside on the grill, and those who wanted to eat it did. Pork and beans were always available for the dissenters. The other day, my Miles asked why we didn't still raise pigs. Jane immediately became defensive. He has become a master gardener, and I think an early lesson of his came from converting the pig pen to a garden. We talked very briefly about opening a new business, Pigs to Go we were going to call it. The plan was to buy a few 100 feet of electric fence, graze pigs for people for a fee, and move them around all summer. In the fall, we'd just take them in or create another liver party. Jane thinks that business plan still needs a little work. Now, folks, thank you for listening. But before I go tonight, Silas would kill me if I didn't tell you that you can subscribe for free on YouTube. Here are the instructions. It's easier than you think. And we already have more than 50 people. And by the time we get 100, when we get 100, we're going to do a raffle and we're going to give away one of Jane's pies. Right, Silas?
Yep. And isn't it one of your books as well?
Oh, we're going to give you want to give them a book so they can read my book while they're eating my pie?
Yes, and the book is your choice.
Cool. All right. Thanks for listening, folks. We'll see you again soon.